Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's reading. Please forgive me for the previous readings. I've watched back and realized that a lot of them, well, not a lot, I'm being dramatic, a few of them are lagging. So I'm very sorry about that. I really do hate lagging videos. And I should be checking my work more often. Okay, so the cards that fell out, opening card is the Nine of Discs. And then the following cards have a story to them. The Three of Cups, the Two of Rods in reverse, the Three of Rods, and the King of Swords. I want to touch on the Two of Rods in reverse. That feels, because it's the only reverse card, the energy of that feels central. This card in reverse speaks of original vision, often linked with great charisma, which is somehow being sabotaged. Grandiosity, even megalomania, dogma, pedagogy, acting a part sometimes quite convincingly, but something is missing. All right, so this is clearly a specific channeling off the bat. If any of what I say doesn't resonate, then the reading isn't for you. Please be aware of that and discern throughout all readings that you watch. Often linked to the grace of somehow. All right. I'm getting the frequency of somebody who wow, you should be on the lookout for your friends. Or you're taking friendship stock. You're looking at the people around you in your community and you're trying to understand who can grow with you, who you have to leave behind. This is also a very this time energy in general for the collective because of the karmic clearance endings, all the things that have to go. So lots of breakups, separations, moving out of places, leaving jobs, starting new jobs. You have the Page of Disc beneath the deck. And then as I tried to pick up the deck, the Two of Discs remained. So it's a lot of like needing to decide. I'm receiving the frequency of needing to decide. Somebody who is trying to make decisions about their life that will lead them to more enjoyment. A sense of possible, not stagnancy, but like a confusion, like a fogginess with what to do next. But it feels remedied with the presence of the King of Swords that you are gonna, if there's any confusion in your life or any kind of just needing to discern between who's right for you and who isn't, who's true to you and who isn't, whatever, in whatever shape or form, you can trust yourself to just make the decision. I'm not receiving the frequency of a wrong decision, of any potential wrong decision. It's going to be a new either way. And if you watch this far and you still don't resonate with what I've said, then either way, you are in for a new chapter of your life that will address a sense of misalignment, but I'm not getting that it's within you. It feels like it's from someone else or from something outside of you, like something hasn't been feeling right, either in a friendship or in a job or career in your workplace. Just something's been feeling off. And I'm getting that whatever decision you make about that is going to be right, and you should just decide. And you've got a lot of, like I said, it's pretty impossible for you to make the wrong decision. Whatever decision you make sure that it addresses any potential energy leaks in your life. If you've been feeling tired a lot, like more often than usual as of late, that's also something you need to address. Something that also could be addressed through meeting up or calling, contacting a friend, but one of your old friends who you know you for your heart, Contact a friend who you know is very compassionate, holds a lot of compassion, holds a lot of compassion, and can therefore really see you for who you are, and then maybe help advise you from there on what your next steps are. I'm getting also an uncertainty in career. I'm getting somebody who is feeling misaligned in that area of their lives and is seeking more joy. You want to be happier. I'm getting that all of us are collectively also really taking seriously the consideration of that. Like, what can we do to really enjoy life? And I'm so grateful for that, for everybody who has enough like fire in them to keep going and to keep deciding to do life and to keep trying and hoping, and focusing on your visions and focusing on a set. Like, you don't wait for inspiration. I'm really inspired by people who don't wait for inspiration, and I'm getting that it's likely you, to a point where you get really frustrated when things feel off kilter because you're someone who goes. I'm receiving the frequency of a air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or an Aries, or a Virgo, or a Capricorn. I'm also getting a very good connection with manifestation. So if you're in that period of your working with magic right now, and if you're in the mood to do that, then I highly suggest you manifest. There's a full moon coming up shortly after New Year's, I think on the 3rd or 4th. You should use that energy to bring forth something. Although I'm not entirely sure how it works with full moons and which ones are used to release and which ones are used to manifest, but all of this is also pointing to the fact that you can trust yourself. Whatever period of life you're in right now, you are fully entitled to trust yourself. Whatever decision you make is highly likely, 99%, the correct decision. I would like to shuffle more for this Two of Rods energy. Let's just clarify what that's about exactly. Okay. That didn't take long. Interesting. So we have, for clarification of the Two of Rods in reverse, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. So I'm receiving somebody who really just doesn't trust their intuition because of how, Aquarius. This is so Aquarian. Somebody who feels a lot, feels so intensely that you don't trust the decisions you make, and that's causing a misalignment within yourself, which is why it's important to reach out to the friends who know you by heart. They can remind you about who you are, and because a lot of your friendship is distilled in the essence of those involved. Like, you're not friends with each other for any, that's the beauty, especially of like feminine friendships. You're not friends with each other for any kind of benefit or whatever. You love each other and you really love each other. The essence of that can be held in people, especially in friendships with women. Reach out to women in your life as well for some sense of grounding, because I'm getting any sense of potential misalignment from here on out really needs to be taken seriously in terms of sense, in terms of the gut feel. If you feel in your gut off, you have to take that shit seriously immediately, regardless of where you stand in terms of how you relate to your intuition. The world is shifting to accommodate that way of living, following your intuition, following that inner gut feel and really listening to it. So you need to do that. And you need to stop being so sure that no one alive can hold the true sensitive nature that you are. This is the card of somebody who is afraid of being seen fully for who they are, for how they feel, for how often you cry. I'm getting the frequency of somebody who sometimes isolates when they cry. Like, when you start to get teary, you just kind of, I need a moment, and then you go away to be by yourself. That's, to me, part of that can mean an inner programming that says that no one can hold you for your whole feeling self. And so you have to hide and pretend and put on certain personas for certain people and situations. But these cards are giving that you need to try to not do that anymore because it's blocking you in some way. I feel called to read the Knight of Swords. This card speaks of a man armored, masked, difficult to get to know, standing strong, facing unknown challenges, loneliness, longing for connection, someone used to cutting off or doing different personas at different times, longing for connection. If you are someone who is longing for connection, you must call a friend during this time. Very, very important. This is also the season, and this is my humble opinion. I see a lot of people talk about how this is the time of the year, outside of the family stuff and all of that. This is just generally the time of the year where their mental health tanks, or they feel energetically sensitive and just out of it. If you relate to that sensation, then you need to acknowledge your energetic, spiritual connection with life, and you need to keep respecting that, honoring your seasons, you know? Go through them with an openness and an understanding that that's just who you are. You are sensitive. You're an energetically sensitive person. I highly likely read for people who are like that. Beneath the deck, you have the Nine of Swords as well. So it's likely that you're dealing with like whatever misalignments you may be experiencing, whether internal or external, is made to trigger up your emotions. The universe is intentionally triggering up your whole range of feeling stuff so that you can essentially get better at deciding about enjoying your life. I'm getting the frequency of somebody who maybe tends to suffer from like depressive episodes or dips, or you suffer from depression in general, possibly suicidal ideations, and it's been long. And you've been trying to approach it in a different way. You've been trying to heal from it in a kind of like a cerebral mind reprogramming CBT type of way. And the universe is helping you answer that call. I'm also just generally getting the frequency of somebody who just wants to be happier. You really, really want to enjoy life more. Yeah. Call a friend. Super, super important. And don't be afraid to cry in front of them. Stop being afraid to cry in front of people. Please don't, like, this is I'm receiving a very emotional period of time for you in order to get this card upright. And in order to shed all of that, to get this upright, to get the alignment in your life going again, to get the enjoyment going again, not forgetting that this was the card that fell out first on its own. The rest of the card flipped in my hand. This kind of plopped out neatly upright. In order to get to this state in your life, you have to be present. This card also speaks of that, of presence. These cards together, I believe, are emphasis to remind you to please try not to use your brain during this time. Try to cry and make decisions from your heart. Genuinely. Cry, cry, cry. Lots of crying. Journal it all out. Everything that you can't say to someone, if you have by chance, like if this pain does by chance have to do with a sense of betrayal, that betrayal in friendship that I was talking about, or betrayal in your community, unexpected, painful, makes you feel a lot of things, makes you feel distrusting of people, a pain that made you feel guarded, If by chance you're processing something like that, I highly, highly recommend that you write them a letter and really let every single one of your feelings out. Use the upcoming full moon. I'm recording this December 2025, but timeless intention. So use the next full moon in your life to write a letter with everything about how that betrayal, that sense of betrayal made you feel. Everything about how maybe this has to do with I was going to say mother or parent wounds, but it's all rooted in parent wounds, right? It's your connection with your parents. Anyway, whatever wounds you're processing with some sense of betrayal with someone, write about it. If maybe you find yourself even angry at God, write about it. Write an angry letter or sad letter to God, write it all out. Write it out and then burn it. If you have friends who you do rituals with, if you can get this process done with people you love around you, get your friends to get into some witchy stuff with you, that would really help with the energetic processing of this pain. It would really help with feeling your feelings through. Random suggestion. Okay. I'm pulling more from beneath the deck. You have the 8 of Rods, the 5 of Discs, and the 4 of Swords. And I love the 4 of Swords appearing. This with the Temperance card is very, it's like a hand from the universe going, wait, just be patient. Very clear signage of the fact that we do not know, like, you don't know the full story. This is also a card of how you do not know the full story and you need to take things very slowly, whatever that may be, whatever the situation of the full story is. If you've watched this far, now is the time to really be still. Like I said, feel things through, process your pain. You also have the 9 of Rods. Really feel things through. So much feeling. Oh my goodness. If you are somebody who, if you are like those signs I'd mentioned, Aquarius, Gemini, Virgo, even Libra sometimes, because they like to keep it cute when they're feeling a lot of things. Honey, 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 honey. Honey, 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 honey. I don't know. Well, with this card, actually, I do get the sense that you will continue to keep it cute and graceful, that you're somebody who likes to keep things neat and graceful. You like to be cordial, you like to be respectful, but you feel so, so, so much. And sometimes it makes you want to explode. I get it. I really do. 8 and the 9 of Rods, by the way. There's so much coming, everyone. The 2026 is a year. I know we all have our things that we're saying about what's going to come in the new year, but I get the sense that the also underlying message is truly that we couldn't even begin to understand what is to come and how it's going to make us feel and how drastic some of these changes are going to be in our lives. It's going to be really, really wonderful, really, really dramatic, big, big stuff. Your heart is blasting open in order to make room to be able to feel more, as I've been repeating over and over. And as a lot of readers have been suggesting about how this is going to be, it's going to start being a more of a heart-centered reality. We have to make room for that by actually being heart-centered, by actually feeling more and opening up into trusting in your intuition, trusting in the present moment, trusting in your feelings, learning from your heartbreaks, learning from all your feelings. I'm also getting with these 2 cards a Scorpio placement, someone just generally afraid to connect, or somebody who tends to feel alone in a crowded room. Aquarius also, very Aquarian. Again, this is a little bit of a victim state, so just check yourself for that. Next year is also the year of not that. So if you're still in victim mode, you can't win with it. Yeah, that felt really hard to say, so I held it in. But straight up, if you're still in victim mode in 2026, then you're signing up to lose. That's a loser game, truly, genuinely. but also be patient with yourself through it, because it's an initiation for all of us. But yeah, so much. There's so much. Thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful. And I really hope that you only watched if it resonated. I hope that even through a lack of resonance in the reading, that you were able to take something, anything. And I hope that you are enjoying tying up loose ends and saying goodbye to 2025, because 2026 is going to be, it's going to be. Thank you. I'll see you in the next reading.